Well, it's July the 24th, and I thought I'd address an interesting subject today that came up. Yesterday evening on Fox News, a contributor made a comment that there's a report out that President Biden has basically is pressuring Ukraine not to complain about the Nord Stream 2 pipeline decision, which is let the Russians go ahead and construct it, which is really, of course, economically not in the Ukraine's interest, obviously. And they basically are saying that that if the Ukrainian president wants to have a meeting with President Biden, that they better not complain about this. Okay. And of course, the idea was then raised with this contributor. Well, that'd be a basis for impeachment based on the issue that they tried on Trump. And I thought that was a little bit funny because it's obviously not the issue for impeachment of Biden. There is an issue for the impeachment of Biden, and he fully merits impeachment. And here's what it is. It's the way he's handling the border. Remember, what the oath you take as president is see if the laws are faithfully enforced, right? And he's basically neglecting to enforce our immigration laws in a massive way. And so I think this clearly could be the basis for an article of impeachment. So at any rate, if you like these videos, give me a like. It helps out with the algorithm, and subscribe, and remember to ring the bell too to get notified. I sometimes forget to mention that, but that helps out a lot because I notice that a lot of people probably don't ever even know I've posted a new video. So click that bell and you'll find out. All right, so back to the issue here. Of course, I want to be realistic here. I like to have all my commentary to be realistic. It isn't going to happen. For one thing, there's no Democrat in the House that's going to vote to impeach Biden for policies that most of them all agree with, apparently, or at least have been intimidated by their leadership to support. So I think that's one thing we can be fairly confident that will not happen. And even if he were to be impeached by a narrow vote in the House, it's almost certain he would be acquitted by the Senate, just like even with everything they tried to throw at Trump, they never got close to the 2/3 required vote. And of course, in Trump's case, both those impeachments were bogus as could be. Neither of them had any merit and were really absurd, partisan hackery at its worst. But it is a real serious issue that the Biden administration really is failing to do its duty to the country. I mean, to allow this situation to actually cause this immigration situation and to perpetuate it, and to support it and to facilitate it is a total breach of his oath of office. And one could only say that if impeachment had any merit, I think this would probably be it. This is certainly a lot worse than the president just taking a bribe to sign or veto a bill or to appoint somebody to an ambassadorship or any of those normal malfeasance ideas you normally think of. This is far more serious than that. It's a major breach of his oath and a major betrayal of the country. Of course, it does raise another interesting question, which I often like to raise about the issue of unrestricted immigration. And it basically is this, is exactly at what level do they really want the population to grow to and how fast? I mean, it does seem to me that to a great extent, this is completely not very well thought out as a national policy. Of course, it isn't that. It's all the idea of creating future Democrat votes. The theory is, obviously, that if they can get these people citizenship through some amnesty program, then they'll be able to vote themselves. And at a minimum, even failing that, their children will get the right to vote. Or the young people coming in will get swept up in a DACA procedure somehow, like that they were innocent of being here because they were minors when they came here, like they were, quote, brought by their parents, presumably, but probably more likely by a smuggler. But at any rate, this is the kind of thing that's going on here, and that's what the objective, obviously, is in it. It's blatant partisanship, and it really should be criticized a lot more strongly than it is. And so it is what it is, and obviously the impeachment mechanism is no safety valve for our country. But at any rate, people got what they voted for, I guess, in most cases, and maybe in some states they even got something they didn't vote for, although that's a whole other issue which we've discussed elsewhere. And anyhow, so I guess I'll also make some more comments on the ongoing COVID situation before I close. It seems to me that I've noticed that there's a big uptick, and there was some sort of surprising numbers. I found out that Florida apparently is reporting weekly, so their spike looks really big, but you need to divide that by 7 in order to get an idea of what it really is. But it is a contributor to the ongoing uptrend in the caseload. From what I can see, that there's really no noticeable difference in the fatality rate between the new Delta variant and the previous variants. I don't see that anything in the data that suggests that. Although some people are being a little sanguine about the subject, I think, because there is about a 2-week to 18-day, I generally use 18-day lag between the wave of deaths that come from an upsurge and the actual instance of the disease. And of course, we're really just hitting that point right now. So I don't think people should be totally complacent about that subject. I actually think everybody who doesn't have a history of bad reactions to vaccines, and there are some, Guillain-Barré syndrome and things of that sort, and I guess ingredient allergies or whatever. But if you don't have a history of that and you haven't had the disease and you haven't been vaccinated yet, I think it'd be a good idea to get vaccinated. The problem that seems to be surging in some areas, it's in areas where we really are below herd immunity at this point, and so it's coming back there. And yes, there is a chance of getting a mild case of disease even with a vaccine. It's probably somewhere in the 5 to 10% rate with the mRNA vaccines, which are the ones to get, by the way. If you're already getting a vaccine, go ahead and get the 2-dose Pfizer or Moderna vaccines. Don't go for J&J. I mean, seriously, J&J is better than nothing, but since we have something better than that, why not get what's the most effective? At any rate, I'll close this for now. Again, you can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Gab, and Parler. I post there from time to time. Probably see me more on Twitter posting updates interweek and all that. But and we'll close this for now. Until next time.